The Crisco Kid Block Party.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, it's another block party weekend, and we got something big happening on the block. Matter of fact, we taking it to On My Block. She's a friend of the show, and she is back with us. Paula Garcés, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
This is the last time we got to talk. I know with the Luna Superhero, we were talking about that, and we were talking about On My Block season 4. We just kind of touched on it because you said it was on the way, and now here we are. And let me tell you, I've watched all 3 seasons, and I am ready for season 4 because I just want to know where everyone's life is going after season 3.
Amazing. I mean, listen, we are very proud of the show. I am extremely grateful and humbled to have been a part of the show for now 4 seasons. Yes, it's the last season, and I hope it's as anticipated as I feel, because I'm feeling the love, on social media. I'm feeling the love on the streets, on my block specifically. Yeah. So, we're just really, really excited. It's October 4th. So I hope everyone October 4th not only watches the first episode, but binges the whole season, right? So just keep that Monday locked on Netflix and specifically on My Block. I would really appreciate that.
So I want to go back and talk about just the evolution of all the characters, because it has been fun to watch them grow over the years. And you playing the role of Henny Martinez, the mom, or Ruby's mom in there. And we kind of talked about how it was interesting for you to go from playing like in Gangsta's Paradise, the teenager, and now a couple years later, now you're in the mom role. And it has been cool to see these kids and follow their story. And I don't know how much I can talk about, because if they haven't seen the first 3 seasons, you're super late. But to watch, one kid go through just being the kind of young, innocent guy, then he gets shot. I'm not going to give any names. And then kind of he matures and falls in love with another person that nobody expected him to fall in love with. And Jamal kind of grows into his own conspiracy theorist, but turns out to be right. And I think we all have a friend like that. And then, right, we all have that friend. And then even with Caesar's story, where he was the straight and narrow type of guy, but to see him kind of evolve and change into the way we see him kind of, end on season 3, the last episode. And it seems like everybody's on Monse, can't forget about her either. Finding out who her family was and like what path she was going to take. I thought really that season 3 was just kind of like, okay, I'm in a good place where this stops. I feel like I've seen everybody's story, but what are we missing here? Give us, like, without telling us too much, but what are we missing that we should really be looking forward to? Because even Oscar's got hair now. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here?
So what I love about On My Block the most, and there's a lot of things that I love about On My Block, is the writing, right? It all goes back to the writing, and the creators of the show, Lauren Unerick, Jeremy Haft, Eddie Gonzalez, and Jamie Dooner, those creators and producers really take their time, and they really want to focus on these kids' stories, right? And it's the reason why I fell in love with it in the first place is because it was a fresh look at what the Latino experience and just because I'm from the hood, right? I'm just going to put it out there. I'm from Spanish Harlem, and there's a lot of similarities between like an East LA hood, which is kind of like what Free Ridge is and On My Block is based on, and Spanish Harlem. And when I saw the writing and saw that these kids are their own heroes, they go through the same thing that every other neighborhood goes through. It's just that there's some added elements because of the lack of economic substance there. So I just related to it a lot because it was very real, and these kids were smart. And one is kind of like this science geek that wants to like solve it all through like science and exploration. And that's what I love about Jamal. And then there's one that's like the dreamer, and he's like the lover, and he's like, and he's like all heart. And that's my son, Ruby. And then we have, my character who's Henny, who's just a mom trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, but she's keeping it together, right? So all of these characters, and Sierra, who plays Monse, is, this girl who wants to be a famous writer one day. And so it's these characters really, I felt like had never been really explored or seen. on television. And I think the reason why On My Block has blown up, and I'm so humbled that it has, is because the audience themselves, they see themselves represented in a very real way. And I think, I got to applaud again the creators and obviously, Netflix for taking notice and giving the show love, appreciation, and also the time to grow through 4 seasons and making sure that there's an audience that's loyal, that wants this. And I'm just so excited. I know I didn't give a lot of spoilers, but just know that the same feeling that you've had for 1, 2, and 3, you're going to have it on season 4. I promise you, times 1,000. Like, it's going to, I'm sorry, but it is going to leave you wanting more. Because that's just the way these writers work. It's the way these producers work, and it's the way Netflix works. And when these characters are loved the way they have been loved, and they have, we've put a lot of energy into this. It's why I'm here. I mean, I'm just the mom on the show, right? But like, I love this show so much. It means so much to me to representation does matter. It means a lot to me that kids like that are given the love and the attention, right? And so I just encourage everyone that hasn't discovered the show yet to discover it on Monday, right? October 4th. And if you've been a loyal fan, I want to thank you. I want to hug you. I want to kiss you. And yeah, like, I'm just so honored to be part of a show that really takes the Latino experience, the African-American experience, really the underdog experience of what our neighborhoods have been like for years, right? And we've known this, we the people, we the culture have known about this all the time. So we're just excited to share how we are, how our stories are, and represent them in a real way, in an honorable way.
Right. You just mentioned representation, and I want to dive just a little more into that in a second. But I think it really is a positive and a great reflection of what the average Mexican American or Latin American or Afro-Latino American kind of household is right now, where you do have the mom in the house, right? But then Abuelita, how do we leave her out? Because she's the show stealer. Like, her role is so like key, but it's like low key. You would never think from just taking rips of the bong to like just driving all the kids around. It's like she's got her own story, and she's like the low key team captain, the leader that kind of keeps everybody in check. But how true is that in all of our houses as well?
Listen, you said it. We cannot leave Abuelita out. Shout out to Peggy Blow. I love her to like death, right? Just like I loved my Abuelita. And so that, you hit the nail right in the head. It's the reason why I think the show is a success, and it'll keep being a success because it brings characters like that. My Abuelita, she had on red lipstick, a mini skirt, high heels, right up to she, died at 83. And she was party rocking,
And always a chancla in the purse for whatever happened. You know what I'm saying?
She put her chanclas on and walked to my party, sat down, and then put her stilettos on, and that's how that, everyone has an Abuelita that rocks, a little harder than everybody else's Abuelita, right? And so, she's a beloved character, and for good reason. She is definitely always like the glue, just when you think everything's going to fall apart, she throws some gems and some wisdom with obviously a lot of humor and heart and love. And there's, particularly if I may, I had, of course, the great honor, and I'm so humble and thankful that I had been given this opportunity. I directed episode 2. So I hope everyone checks that out and gives me extra love on that.
Congratulations. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. And the only spoiler I'm going to give is that I had the amazing opportunity to work with both Jamal and the Abuelita character heavy on my episode. And so I hope I did it justice to direct them, but those two don't need direction. They're just magic. I literally just told them, you do you, you do your thing, make it extra special because this seems to be the last time we're doing this, and make me look good on my first episode. And they blew it out the park. So that's my spoiler right there. That's my spoiler.
Okay.
Right there.
I was gonna ask because I thought there was gonna be a love scene between the two, and I don't know if you can. I just felt there was this chemistry, but then it kind of turned friendship. But I was like, we're gonna see Jamal and Abuelita make out at some point during the show. How crazy would that be if that actually happened? You can't tell me.
I mean, listen, Abuelita is fierce enough to get her some. I don't know how appropriate that is.
Yeah,
But listen, they love each other, and it's a beautiful relationship that actually is very real. It's not just funny, and there's mutual friendship and respect there, and we all love Peggy Blow, the actress, and Abuelita, both on and off the screen. We have much respect for her, and I have a feeling it's not the last thing we're going to see her on. And she's just fabulous. And I was just, when I first heard that I was going to direct episode 2, I was like, oh, please let there be some Abuelita magic in my episode. And it's all there. So I have Jason Henao and I have Jessica Martinez, Garcia. I have a whole bunch of stuff in my episode, and I'm just so excited. But like literally Jamal and Abuelita scenes are some of my favorites this season.
What was the vibe like? Because you said, hey, this is my first time directing this, and we're all going to kind of give it our all. When you wrapped, when it was all done, looking back through the season, was that really the vibe? Like, hey, we're going to knock this out of the park because we want to give the fans the culture that's been built around On My Block, like, hey, what they deserve. And then, hey, you never know what this can lead off to, because I think a lot of companies, a lot of directors, a lot of producers, they're looking at the success of this. And I think this can open up even more doors. So there's more, does it fall into the YA category, or does it fall into like, you know what I mean? So I think this is very pivotal in how a lot of companies move forward from here. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But did y'all feel any pressure? What was the vibe like at the very end?
Listen, from your mouth to God's ears, me personally would love to see that On My Block definitely set like a precedence as far as like what a great show should be like, right? And I dare say it. So I may get a lot of slack for that, but I am saying it. And yeah, On My Block is categorized as YA, young adult. But it's a show that literally could be enjoyed by anyone. And you don't have to be Latino. You don't have to be African American. It's like literally I have so many people of all different ages, genres, cultures, religion, any creed has come up to me and they've been like, wow, your show is so cool. It was so unexpected. Whatever. And, I have all kinds of moms going like, oh God, like you threw some gems out there, or I felt that scene with you and your son, or wow, I love that, Mom. And so all of that means a lot to me. And I think that On My Block definitely did set this standard of what it should be, like what a show should be. It should be about real heart. And heartbreak, but also laugh, because we need to laugh, especially in these times, right? And so, and to give kids more credit, I'm gonna say this about myself as well. I'm a mom of 2 kids, and I underestimate my kids a lot. And so this show also reminds us that we should not underestimate like this new generation and our kids. They are smarter than we think. They are more capable than we actually realize. And this show highlights that a lot over and over again, right? And I just love, there's I'll give a specific example. The Cholo experience and the way they highlight that particular story on My Block, it has not been done like that in any other movie ever. And again, I dare say that again.
It was done with respect. It wasn't corny, like a lot of things that before.
He is human. How about they make him human? And so, say what you will about gangsters and stuff like that, but there's circumstances, there's things that happen to a person that make them go that route, right? and we always go, oh, they're like this and we should forget about them. But this particular story does not forget about them. And there's redemption, and there's actually like humility and respect, like you said. And there's a bunch of layers to that story. And again, I don't want to give anything away, but it just people should pay attention to it because it's really well done. And it's a culture, again, that should be respected or should be at least seen, and we should try to understand. And we shouldn't discard people that have been given, not so many opportunities. And sometimes they have to do what they have to do, and so these are the things that I mean about like how On My Block really highlights what our stories are about in a real way,
Yeah, from the quinceañera to everything. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's just life, and it was done right. You know what I mean? And I applaud Netflix and On My Block and everyone involved. It's just a great series, and I love what you guys are doing off the screen as well. I know this is a big weekend right before the premiere. All over the country, there were a couple different cities chosen. I'll let you talk about that, but it's a new campaign. #LoveMyBlock. Let's talk about that right quick.
So #LoveMyBlock, it encourages community action and the importance of giving back to the community that shaped us. So we have some things going on in New Orleans. We have things going on in LA, but specifically in Phoenix, we have Sunny Slope Youth Center, and On My Block, the show On My Block is remodeling and hooking up the teen room there. And we're very proud of that. And basically what we want to, just tell people that we're so, so proud of the show. We are so humbled and so thankful that communities around the country, around the world, really, like wherever your block is, I've gotten, love from Brazil, from, Mexico, Colombia, so wherever your block is, we are encouraging people to #love their block, love my block, and basically encouraging you to, give back to your community. Whenever I'm in New York, I try to do that. I try to work with some foster homes in Harlem. I try to work with local high schools in Spanish Harlem. So like that's basic, whatever you're into, if it's art, if it's a park, if it's, a specific thing on your block that needs some love, a lot of people together can do something about it,
I've always believed, it's kind of cliche in some ways, but, leave the world a better place than what it was before. But I believe that same thing can happen at the community and the local level. And that's exactly why I think these community centers and these places that On My Block and Netflix have chosen around the country, this is going to be really special. And I think the kids are even going to love On My Block even more to know that show cares so much that they're giving back to different places across the U.S. and encouraging other people, whether you're a young adult or whether you're an adult or whether you're a senior citizen, to give back in the best way that we all can. And I think a lot of people think it has to be financially, but it's about time. It's about different resources that we all have that we can give. Some of them don't cost anything.
Listen, I'm going to repeat it again. The show highlights kids who, yes, it's a coming of age story, and they're their own heroes. They solve their own problems. And so we're putting our money where our mouth is. We believe in you, the communities around the world, the blocks around the world, that you can save yourselves. You can make your block better yourselves. We try to hook up a couple of blocks, right, which are highlighted in New Orleans and Phoenix and in LA, but we believe in you. We believe in you. And so this #LoveMyBlock is really encouraging the call to action for you guys to do it for yourselves, maybe a little bit inspired by, Ruby, Monse, Diego, Jamal, and Spooky, so hopefully you guys are inspired by that. But I'm sure there's a lot of things. And yeah, you highlighted it perfectly, Crisco. Some things don't need money. Like, there's community gardens that need people to go and pull out some weeds and plant some seeds. And it's not corny. It's not corny. I think it's a beautiful message to want to leave the world a better place than how you found it, I've always tried to do that. I am corny. I love corny. Corny's good. On My Block has a lot of corny moments that people
But they're
seem
great
to connect
moments.
to.
They're great moments. It's like dad jokes. Yeah, do you want to hear them all the time? No, but they make everything better. A good dad joke makes everything better. Look, again, season 4 On My Block, October 4th. You can stream that on Netflix. You can binge it. Go back. If you haven't seen any of the seasons, you will not be disappointed. Very worth the time and the emotional attachment as well, because you do find a little part of somebody, or you find that one character that you will identify with. And Paula, last words. What do you got?
October 4th. Season 4, binge it 4 times if you love me.
Make it happen. Paula Garcés, thank you so much for checking in this afternoon.
Besitos. Thank you so much.